From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
Been picketed since 1975. My office has been blown up. We have had 4,000 people arrested outside my office in 1991. In 1993, I survived an assassination attempt. From August of 1994 until March of 1997, I was under daily U.S. federal marshal protection.
Dr. George Tiller. He was shot and killed at his church Sunday in Wichita, Kansas. Police have arrested an anti-abortion activist in connection with the murder. The National Abortion Federation says Dr. Tiller is the 8th abortion provider to be assassinated in the United States since 1977. President Obama said he is shocked and outraged by Tiller's killing. U.S. Marshals are now being deployed to protect women's health clinics and doctors across the country. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Supporters of reproductive rights are mourning the killing of the abortion provider Dr. George Tiller. The 67-year-old doctor was shot Sunday as he attended services at his Wichita, Kansas church. The gunman fled the scene, but a suspect was later caught in a Kansas City suburb. The suspect is 51-year-old Scott Roeder. He has a history of involvement in anti-abortion activism. He was once arrested and jailed on explosive charges. He has ties to the right-wing separatist group known as the Freemen. Wichita Deputy Police Chief Tom Stoltz said Roeder will be charged with murder and aggravated assault. Dr. Tiller's clinic is one of just 3 in the nation performing late-term abortions after the 21st week of pregnancy. Dr. Tiller faced constant threats and incidents of violence and vandalism. His clinic was bombed in 1985. In 1993, Dr. Tiller survived an assassination attempt with gunshot wounds to both arms. 2 years earlier, thousands of anti-abortion activists tried to block his clinic during the Summer of Mercy protests organized by the anti-abortion group Operation Rescue. He had recently asked prosecutors to increase legal action against anti-abortion activists who targeted the clinic. President Obama said he's shocked and outraged by Dr. Tiller's killing. Attorney General Eric Holder later announced he would order the deployment of U.S. Marshals to protect women's health clinics as well as doctors across the nation. In a statement, Tiller's family said, quote, George dedicated his life to providing women with high-quality health care despite frequent threats and violence. We ask that he be remembered as a good husband, father, and grandfather, and a dedicated servant on behalf of the rights of women everywhere. Dr. Susan Robinson is on the phone with us from California. She is an OBGYN who has worked with Dr. Tiller for years.
I'm stunned. I'm shocked. What's going to happen to all those patients? Where are they going to go? We got patients from all over the world. We have patients. The walls of that clinic are lined with letters from people who said, you saved my life. We took care of those people from all over the world. What's going to happen to them?
I wanted to bring Ellie Smeal into this conversation, president of the Feminist Majority Foundation, and read you the comments of Randall Terry, the head of Operation Rescue. They said after Dr. Tiller's murder, Randall Terry said, Dr. Tiller was a mass murderer. I grieve for him that he did not have an opportunity to properly prepare his soul to face his maker. Unless some miracle happened, he left this life with his hands drenched with the innocent blood of tens of thousands of babies that he murdered. Surely there will be a dreadful accounting for what he has done. Ellie Smeal, your response. You work with Dr. Tiller for decades.
Well, Randall Terry doesn't know what he's talking about, and that's one of our problems, is that there's such ignorance on this subject. And, you know, Dr. Tiller saved countless women's lives. Just as Dr. Robinson said, every day he was thanked by women whose lives he saved. He was a humanitarian, a person who, I think his family said it so well, he was dedicated to women and to women's rights everywhere. And he did what he knew he should do as a skilled physician. I think often he really thought that these folks were just misguided or they didn't understand, or they were being driven by a religion. And Randall Terry has been a person who has been outside these clinics screaming and hollering, but he doesn't know anything about really medicine and women's health. They were outside his clinics for weeks. It was horrible. Anyway, we've been organizing. We do clinic defense work all over the country. We've tried to help them. So sad that we were not successful in, you know, that our country this shouldn't happen in our country. The laws have got to get tougher, because you shouldn't be allowed to plague a clinic and clinic workers and a doctor like Dr. Tiller, picking at them day and night, screaming at them, when if they only understood what good he was doing. But I think that we have to say that story more. People got to understand why this is necessary.
Ani DeFranco singing Birmingham about the bombing of a women's health clinic in Birmingham, Alabama, 10 years ago, about 11 years ago, 1998. Robert Sanderson, an off-duty police officer, worked as a security guard at the clinic in Birmingham, was killed when his workplace was bombed. Eric Robert Rudolph, also responsible for the 1996 Centennial Olympic Park bombing, was charged with the crime and received 2 life sentences as a result.
Little lever in my hand, and outside my city is bracing for the next killing thing, standing by the bridge and praying for the next Dr. Martin Luther King. It was just one shot through the kitchen window. It was just 1 or 2 miles from here. If you flew like a crow, yeah. A bullet came to visit a doctor in his one